All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday. This is our special encore presentation of what we shared Wednesday evening on June 12th. Now, this is something that I had a lot of requests because people couldn't attend the live Zoom call, or they were unable to attend our open house event here in person in Galena, Illinois. So what I wanted to do is do this encore presentation. So I have a lot of great information to share with everybody this morning, and it's something that if you stick till the end, you're going to really get a really good grasp at, the importance of saving in the form and the benefits of saving in the form of silver and gold. Now, this is something that it's a big passion of mine. It was shared with something that was shared with me over 3.5 years ago, and it's something that since then I've continually studied and followed different people and have watched as gold and silver has started to make its drive upwards. I'll just put it that way because everybody knows that gold hit its all-time high here, over $2,400 an ounce, and that was something that I had been talking about and sharing with people, going back to last year, and then also as a lot of people have been predicting that, and so that it has come true. And what's really important in this presentation today is I'm going to share with you some factual history about silver and gold, and then also with silver, how it's one of those key things that you don't realize that people a lot of times think that they missed out because gold's already surged up as high as it has. What I'm going to share with you today is going to give you some insight on the future of gold and also silver, and what you can do to help prepare yourself, or even if you've never saved in the form of silver and gold, I'm going to share with you how you can do that as well. And then also, I'm going to share with you a video presentation. Now, this is a brand new presentation. It's not, the first time I shared it was Wednesday evening, and this is going to be the second time I'm sharing this. So if you've seen some of my recordings before on YouTube, I had another type of presentation that I shared, but this is all brand new. So all the information I'm sharing with you here tonight or this morning, I'm sorry, is brand new information. So I'm really excited to get started with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint here, and this is something that, I'm like I said, I'm really passionate about this because it's something that can actually change your perspective on how you look at money, because it's something that, as far as it's, myself, it's how I've looked at money in general, and gold and silver over the last 3.5 years has been totally different. And it's something that, if you can do it incrementally, and that's the important part, is to get in the routine or the way to save incrementally if you can. If you cannot do something with a specific company or whatever, just try and, focus on being able to save incrementally, whether it's a little bit of silver or a little bit of gold. And I know a lot of people can't afford gold, but this is a way to go about doing it, in the form of silver, and still benefiting from the rising price of gold. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is here. There we go. Oops, it's not working. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to be unlocking the secrets and benefits of saving in the form of silver and gold. Now, this is something that this was my original presentation from Wednesday evening. And what I'm going to be doing here during this presentation, and for anybody that watches the video, I'm going to post this on YouTube right after, and probably on Rumble as well. Anybody who comments or watches the video or reaches out to me at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org, you're going to be qualify for a drawing where I'm going to be giving away some silver prizes. Okay, now this is something that, like I said, make sure you stay till the end, because there's a lot of valuable information, a lot of eye-opening information that I want to share with everybody. So I do want to point that out. So there is a benefit for you is to watch this presentation. So what you're going to learn this morning is what everyone should know before they buy gold and silver, and how you can benefit from gold without actually buying gold. Okay, and I'm also going to be sharing with you a way with a company where you can actually earn, or you can actually, buy a dollar or two of gold or silver, or in small incremental amounts, without, at any time, pretty much. So it's something that's pretty important. That's one of the key aspects of this presentation as well. Okay, so what I want to do is real quick go over, just to give you kind of like a background of, what has happened over the history with gold and silver. Now, this is 30-year gold price history in US dollars per ounce. Now, this is, I pulled this off of goldprice.org. So like all these things, if you want to verify yourself, you can check on, look these up as well. But if you go back to, this is going back from 1994 to 2024. Okay, so in this case here, if you look at what's happened around 2000, okay, when gold was like around $250 an ounce. Okay, now just think about that in the terms of right around 2000 till now. Gold has actually been the best performing asset in the century. Okay, and a lot of people don't realize that because they're all everybody's focusing on stocks, or like because people focus on like Apple stocks, and then also you got people that deal with cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But as far as uh, from 2000 to 2020 or 2024, gold has been the best performing asset. Okay. So like in this case here, if you would have made that investment back in 2000 at $250 an ounce, and now you're at today's, and then when I did this was on Wednesday, June 12th, Wednesday evening. Gold was at around 23.30, I think 23.34 at that time. Okay, so that just shows you what type of increase it's had over that span of 30, or I'm sorry, the last 24 years. But this actually shows you what's happened since 1994 to 2024. But this is one thing I want to point out to you real quick. Now, this is something one of the people I follow is Mike Maloney from goldsilver.com. One thing that he's been, because he's been like uh, studying gold and silver, and he's not only uh I guess intelligent, or as far as he shares a lot of great information about that, but he's also deals with like oil, real estate, and all these other things too. So he has a great grasp on what's happening with the economy and everything. But what he's always pointed out is this thing that he calls a cup and handle. So like in different cases here, when you have a dip in the the price of gold here, and the same thing goes for silver. Whenever you have these dips, that's usually the bottom of the cup. So there's a cup, and then when it hits this handle portion here where it kind of levels off, then it typically takes off. And if you look at it over the course here, you guys have these different things here where you got a small cup there, there's the handle, then it takes off. There's the cup, there's the cup and the right there, and there's the handle, and then it takes off. And so you see this here. This is like a huge cup happening, over this course of between 2012 and 2020. But see what's happening here. So now here's the handle portion, and another cup. Actually, he called this like a double cup, and then it's taking off. Okay, so that's just something kind of keep in mind too, is when you're looking at different stock charts. Okay, and so gold increased to $281.15 an ounce, or 13.63% since the beginning of 2024. So that's actually huge. So that's 13%, a little over 13% so far in 2024 alone. But what's even kind of more interesting is when you find out about silver. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you here. Next is, let's go here. Now this is courtesy of silverprice.org. Now, if you look at it going back from this is the 20-year silver price. Okay, so here we had the all-time high, just in 2011. But also what you see here is you kind of see these cup and handle type things here too. Here's the cup, and there's the handle. Okay, where it kind of skyrocketed up. And then in this case here, this is kind of a real weird one here, but you have the cup, but then it actually dipped. But you see this is forming here. So what's happening here is you have the same thing where, and I'm going to share with this next slide here why that's important. Because like right now, with silver prices held near $32 per ounce in late May, trading near its highest level in 11 years and extending its outperformance to gold in the month as industrial demand compounded a favorable macroeconomic backdrop for precious metals. Now, this is the thing that so far in 2024, so gold had that increase itself. It's had a great increase so far in 2024, but so far silver has actually outperformed gold, okay, because of the increase. And this is what I'm going to share this with you here, because this is something that's really important. Now, this is actually from moneymetals.com. Like I said, I don't just follow one specific person or one specific company. I do follow several just to kind of get it like a general idea of what each person or company is sharing. So in this case here, this is from moneymetals.com. This is from March 14th of 2024. Not sure. There we go. Okay, here's what usually happens with silver. It does move with gold, but it moves later. Gold will shoot up first, then and we'll see silver take off rapidly. And silver always outperforms. It's just late. So that's what we're seeing so far this year. Where gold took off and now silver started to catch up to it. Now silver is going to start, according to this, it's going to start rising rapidly, which it has. The gold silver ratio, this is as of March 14th, the gold silver ratio was 86 to 1. Okay, so that just, there's this discrepancy. Now, typically, if he goes on to say, that means it takes about 86 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. And the average gold silver ratio in the modern era has generally ranged between 40 to 1 and 60 to 1. So if you go back to the gold and silver charts and you compare them over the years, you're going to see that there's typically that range of 40 to 60 to 1. So like right now, at the time of this article that moneymetals.com had, they were, it was an 86 to 1 ratio. So what that means is that it's out of whack. So here, what's going to happen is silver is going to catch up. And I did some examples here. So this was as I did a presentation on May 4th. I did another one on May 30th. And then I just did this, calculated this right before I jumped on here. But in this case, in May 4th, gold was at 2302.30 and silver was at 2657. So that meant 86 ounces of silver equals 1 ounce of gold. And so what I did is I calculated it at $2,300 an ounce. So we kind of got out the miscellaneous change there. So at that point in May 4th, if it went back to the average of 60 to 1, silver would be at $38.33, which is a 30% gain from May 4th. And if it went to the 40 to 1 range, silver would be at $57.50 an ounce, which would make it like 117% gain, which is huge. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to get at as far as, where you may not be able to benefit from perhaps purchasing gold, which everybody should have some if they're capable of having it. But if you're not able to, you can still benefit from gold's rising prices by taking a look at silver. Okay. So, and I did the same thing on May 30th. At that point, it was 23.47 and silver was 31.16. So that ratio was 75 ounces of silver equals 1 ounce of gold. And so today it's actually kind of because gold dipped out just a little bit and silver is down from the 31.16. It's the ratio of 78 to 1. So it's still in that good range to, if you're able to do it, to look into it. Okay. Like, and I had to have to give this disclaimer here. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you what the research and everything, all the information that I found out over the course of the last couple of years and everything that I wanted to share that with everybody so that if you do want to seek a financial advisor, you can, but I will share with you something here shortly that's may not be something that your financial advisor is not maybe going to give you the best advice. Okay. But that's the thing is like I said, gold has been the number one performing asset since the turn of the century here. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go over this real quick. Now, this is something that one of the things that Mike Maloney's talked about too, and also Robert Kiyosaki. Those are two people that I listen to on a regular basis and follow along with. And this is courtesy of gold.org. Now, this is the central banks carry gold buying momentum into 2024. Well, since 2020, these are the central banks. These are throughout the world. So it's the central banks, they're actually buying more and more gold than anything. Okay. And out of the top 10 countries, the two top countries that are buying the most are Russia and China. Okay. And so whatever I know, and I'm not sure if people have heard about the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, but they're looking at having a gold-backed currency to use instead of having to pay for everything with the US dollar, which is what everything is, like oil and everything is based on right now. So what they're trying to do is get away from using the US dollar in order to have some other form of currency. And this all kind of got triggered by the Ukraine-Russian war. So when, the United States put sanctions on Russia, they had to find some other way to, make their purchases and everything. So in this case here, this is kind of important because out of the top 10 countries, the United States was not one of the top 10 that was buying a lot of gold. Okay, so it's all these other countries are, and like the two big ones are Russia and China. So what I want to do here is I want to pull up another screen here. And this is actually goes back to what I was sharing here, where gold has outperformed the S&P 500 in the 21st century. Okay, so if you go down here, gold outshines stocks in the 21st century. Now this is the one. This was January 9th. Okay, from moneymetals.com. So if you look here, going back from 1999 to 2020, beginning of 2024, this is the S&P 500, and this is also the gold. Okay, and so it kind of shows you how it's actually outperformed stocks. Okay, so that was I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was important to share with everybody because it just kind of gives you an idea of what when you have it on a chart and you can see it in person, like gold versus this, stocks. Okay, so this is something that I thought was very important to share. And then I want to share this here. Now this is 1 second. Okay. Bear with me 1 second here. Sorry about that. But this is something that, unless you, a lot of times unless you see something like in black and white, or like in this case here, a specific chart, it makes you, you don't really realize, what's happened, over the course of time. But in this case here, and like something that I'm going to share with you in the video that I'm going to share with you, it's going to give you some really good ideas as well too. So let me go here. I'm going to share this clip from Mike Maloney. And actually, let's go to the Robert Kiyosaki one. Okay. Oh, here it is here. Okay. Sorry about that. Now, this is like if you Google him or search for his YouTube channel, you'll actually find him. And I do recommend people go, if you look at his YouTube channel, he has this one thing called, it goes over the history of money. Okay. And I believe it's an 7 or 8 part video series. It's very educational. It'll give you a great idea of, it just kind of gives you a background on how knowledgeable he is, but it also shares a lot of important details as far as, what's happened with gold and silver over the course of time. So in this case here, he's talking about another banking crisis probably before the election. And this is all speculation, but he's pointing out a couple of things here that I thought were important. So I wanted to share this real quick. So let me know in the chat if you can't hear this.
63 lenders small banks sitting on 517 billion of unrealized losses. So, and then the savings accounts, the instability of the financial system, savings accounts, 85,000 blocked in a fintech health never measures scenarios. So 85,000 customers with combined deposits of $12 million in savings were locked out of their accounts. And the disruption is caused by the dispute between financial technology middlemen. People into build this app, this website, and the dispute and they were able to just forget everybody else. We never imagined a scenario like this play out. No regular step in. And I want to thank my friend Bobo Tigran for this. This can't happen to stats. That is absolutely true. I want to remind everybody that the mission of this channel is to enlighten the world, maximum prosperity, individual freedom, free money.
And I also put the copy of this link from this video in the comment section below the YouTube video if you want to watch the whole thing. But this was I thought that was very interesting that Mike Maloney was sharing that. Okay, because it's something where you don't think about it as far as banks. Like if heaven forbid there is another bank collapse, although with what he's information that he has, he's speculating that there will be. But if it happens to be your bank, that's one of the things here where he's pointing out that, people couldn't even actually get their funds that they had in the bank. So much for the FDIC, having your money insured. So eventually those people got their money, but at the same time, people were locked out of their accounts, which is, obviously not good. So I wanted to point that out. So just kind of keep that in mind, just kind of food for thought. And let's see. This one, yeah. All right, now this one here. Now this is Robert Kiyosaki. So there's like I said, two people I follow on a regular basis, both Mike Maloney, Robert Kiyosaki. Now this is something that I'm going to share two short clips from two of his videos, and it's something just kind of like I said, it's food for thought for you to keep in mind while you're thinking about saving for your future. And these are, like Robert Kiyosaki and Mike Maloney. Okay, they're well off. Okay, they over the course of time they've invested, they've saved in different forms of precious metals, oil, and what have you in real estate. So they do know what they're talking about, but a lot of times they're just sharing. So sometimes like Robert Kiyosaki might come across, some people say, well, he's kind of blunt, but he's just trying to put it out there like, hey, this is, I'm sharing this information because this is what I'm seeing and this is what I'm doing. Okay, so this is something like, and he always says that he's not a financial expert either. But he does know what he's talking about. So this is a clip that I wanted to share with everybody here.
So that's why I'm really honored to have a dear friend, Richard Tucker, friends for years. He helped Kim and I time the last term back in 2008 and make fortunes because while everybody was selling, we were buying. That time has come again. And so that's why please listen to what Richard Duncan has to say.
A few months ago, the Fed was still creating $120 billion every month. And then in November, they said they were going to start tapering that, reducing that by $15 billion a month. But the very next month in December, they said they're going to double that, reduce it by $30 billion a month. And that meant that it's going to come to a complete stop. The money printing is going to end totally early next month.
No more printing next month.
No more printing. And then the real blow came. They started letting it be known that they were planning to do the opposite. Instead of printing a lot of money through quantitative easing, they're going to start destroying a lot of money through quantitative tightening. Now, when they print money, that pushes asset prices up.
My apologies about this. I'm so sorry.
Destroy money, it tends to make asset prices fall. And in the stock market,
how do they destroy money?
Well, they destroy money because when they print money, they buy bonds with the money. And normally, when the bonds mature, they just roll them over and buy a similar kind of bond. But they destroy money by essentially selling those bonds. And when the Fed, what happens is the bonds mature and the Fed doesn't roll them over. Someone else has to buy the bond. So the Fed gets its money back. And when the Fed gets money back, that money just evaporates. Fed doesn't need to keep any money because it can make all the money it wants anytime it wants to. So it's a bit complicated to explain in just a few sentences, but the bottom line is it's the opposite of quantitative easing. Quantitative tightening destroys money, and that tends to make stock prices fall. We're about to get a heavy dose of quantitative tightening coming into effect within the next couple of months.
And it's going to make it harder and harder for mom and pop to buy that house. Expect they're going to flip.
And isn't that going to drive inflation?
Well, they think the opposite. When they, instead of printing money, that's the thing that normally causes inflation. It stimulates the economy, it creates growth. But when they destroy the money, that tends to make asset prices fall, like stocks and property. So people are less rich, so they spend less money. And if they spend less money, then prices tend to fall. So that's why they're doing this. They're worried now that the inflation rate has moved up to 7%, and they're taking steps to bring it back down. But what they may find is this could cause a significant stock market crash. And some of the high-flying stocks got hit a whole lot harder than that.
Look at Meta or what Facebook, whatever else I call now.
Okay, so I just wanted to share that because it actually kind of gives you another perspective from this friend of Robert Kiyosaki's, and what his advice that he had given Robert back before the 2008 crash. And this is what he's talking about, which is what you're not hearing in the mainstream media. So I thought this is kind of important too. But then this other one I want to show real quick, and then we'll get on with the video presentation that's the key point of this presentation today. This is another one. This is this will be like a minute and a half clip here. So this, like I said, on all these videos that I'm sharing here, I will put below in the comment section. So if you want to watch them in full, you can as well. Okay.
Be so fast. It seems to get worse and worse every year, and dollars going nowhere but down.
No, and it's getting worse. I mean, just recently, I mean, within the last 6 months, when Silverado and Silvergate, where those banks were, when they tried to stop inflation by raising interest rates, the bond markets collapsed. When the bond markets collapse, so does the stock market collapse. And we have a baby boom generation, my generation, we're in serious trouble. Serious trouble because they're saving paper, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, things I wouldn't touch. You can do it if you like. I don't have to because I own the physical asset. I own the mines. I own businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. But so many people are being set up.
Yeah, they are being set up. And really, Robert, I look for tipping points. And the tipping point, when they really started printing up a lot of money, goes all the way back to year 2000 when Alan Greenspan, after the dot-com bubble, just started printing money like crazy. People don't understand, but we had $5.6 trillion worth of debt in 2000, on balance sheet debt. And now we're at 33 trillion. What happens to real money when that happens? Go back to 2000, the gold market was trading at $275 an ounce. Silver was about $3.50 an ounce. We've added so much paper money, it's making the value of tangible assets worth much, much more. That's what people have to get wrapped around in their head. Every time they print more of this paper money, that becomes worth less and tangible assets become worth.
And right now, the next hot new thing is AI, artificial intelligence. I did a talk with my friend Ken McElroy's event. Somebody said, "What is AI?" I said, "A college degree." You don't learn anything about money. That was my poor dad, PhD. I kept saying PhDs are for poor, helpless, and desperate. And then you go see a financial planner who is only rewarded by selling you paper. A financial planner will not recommend gold or silver because they got no commission from it. Is that correct?
They don't want to recommend that, which is really sad because if you go back to 2000, I always use this example, and some people agree with the time period, some people don't, but I like using long-term horizons. In 2000, if you would have invested $100,000 in the stock market, forgetting about dividends here for a second, today that'd be worth about $320,000. If you would have invested $80,000 in the stock market and $20,000 in the gold market, that's worth $385,000. You picked up $65,000 extra dollars in your bank account over that time period by investing just 20% in precious metals. Why? Because they print up more and more of the paper money, the fake money.
Okay. So I wanted to share that because I think that clip in itself is like vitally important because it's not only talking about, he's giving the examples of, 2000, splitting it besides investing straight in stocks, okay, versus, doing a portion in gold. But then also the fact that, what your financial advisor is not going to recommend that you do. That's why I made the comment earlier in the presentation that you may not want to listen to your financial advisor. But this is something like with gold being the best performing asset since the turn of the century. This is something to keep in mind, okay? And that's where typically financial advisors, from what I understand, will recommend maybe 8 to 10% or whatever. And that may be, but a lot of them don't want to do with it because they're not going to be able to get a commission off of it. And what I'm going to share with everybody here shortly is something where it's to keep in mind where you can do this yourself. You do not have to have somebody, a financial advisor, do it for you. Now you want to consult one if you have one, but if not, this is something that you can actually take. You can actually do yourself. Okay, so that's why this is it's like I said. There's a lot of. Oops, what happened here? We got backed up here. Okay, I reset. So I did want to share that. Okay, so these are let's talk about Mike and Robert. Okay, I really do want to, I commend them for the information they share. It's really great information. So below this video, when there's going to be these links here, the Everyday Person's Guide to Gold and Silver is the book that I had. It's an ebook that you can download. It's free. And if you want me to send you a copy, I do have a physical copy that I can send you. It'll give you some great oversight as to gold and silver. And it's very easy to read and easy to follow and easy to understand because a lot of times people get overwhelmed with too much information. So help clarify that for you too. So if you would like me to mail you a copy, just send me an email at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org. And I'll, with your email address, and I'll get that, or your actual address, and I'll get that on the mail to you, no charge. Okay, so then I also have I'll have a link for this complimentary travel gift. Travel membership. Take advantage of it. It's 100% free to use. It's going to guarantee that you're going to save, whether it's flights, hotels, car rentals, or even events or activities in certain cities. Okay, so take advantage of that. And then also, because the company that I'm going to be sharing with you here next is the company that I've been with for the last 3.5 years. Okay. It's a company called 7K. And because with 7K, you do have the opportunity to earn passively in the process. So I do have to have the income disclosure statement there. So I will put that in the link below for that below the video. And then also I'll have some information on how, if you're interested in perhaps starting today, saving for your future in silver and gold, you can do that as well. So all that information will be below the video. This is the travel thing. That's the brochure or the ebook. And then I'm going to get into the video here. And this is something that, like right now it's Father's Day. Okay. So it's, or Father's Day is tomorrow. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And, this is something that, isn't this going screen? I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Sorry about that. Whoops. Okay. Why my computer's not cooperating. So everybody's got the reason why they do what they do. Okay. You want to put a roof over your head. You want to take care of your family. And you want to save for your future at the same time. But, this is my why. This is my oldest son, Rick, and my youngest son, Ryan. And on Ryan's graduation, that's where a lot of times people give like, a gift card for something or just, clothes or something, whatever, just something to give as a gift. But if you think about it, I gave him this half-gram gold coin of Miss Liberty, okay, Statue of Liberty. So how many people, give their son or daughter or the graduate in their life a gift of gold? So this is going to last a lifetime. So at 18 years old, he had his first piece of gold. Okay. And I was so proud to give that to him. And there is, that was on the special dinner that we had that night. So there's Ryan with his first piece of gold. Okay. And then also there's my granddaughters, Amelia and Izzy, and my soon to be step grandson, Liam. So this is my why. This is why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. Okay. Because eventually when we pass on, people, a lot of times, I've been saving for their future as well as mine, because it's important for them to have a sound future. And especially with Amelia, at her age, she's like going to be 3 this year. Just being able to save for her future by the time she gets to graduating high school. If she wants to go to college, I'll, pretty much have that paid for. Okay. So that's just something that if you do it incrementally over the course of time, it's going to add up. Okay. So what you're going to see in this next video is it's going to share with you how you can save, who you can trust and what to look for, and how do you know if you're getting a good deal, and then also how you can afford to purchase gold and silver even on a tight budget. Like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, even if you have like $1 or $2 at a time, it'll share with you how you can do that. And then can gold and silver really build true generational wealth? And what your financial institutions and financial advisors do not want you to know, we kind of already answered that. But and also if you're in one of these 12 countries here, United States, Mexico, Canada, Australia, Austria, Germany, Ireland, Liechtenstein, I always like saying that, UK, New Zealand, Singapore, Switzerland, that's where 7K is pertainable to. Okay. But if you're not in one of those countries, my key here is to figure out some way, even if you're saving like 1 ounce of silver each month, you have a shop, a coin shop or a coin dealer or something where you could actually go get it at least once a month. That's actually going to start building up over the course of time. Okay. So that's kind of the key here. But then this video that I'm going to share, this is my favorite picture. It's Ryan on his, this is January of 2020 or 2023. And he started doing saving in the form of silver with the monthly autosaver program. And this is over the course of time, it adds up. So you do a little bit at a time. And here in this picture here, there's like 18 coins. So this is just part of what he has saved. So at his age, he was 20 here. So he has more saved in silver at this point than most adults do at my age. Okay. So this is something that's kind of keep in mind. It's just a little bit each time adds up over the course of, a year or 2 years, what have you. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up this presentation from 7K. And the gentleman I like sharing this because he does a great job of giving examples of what's happened with silver and gold over the course of time. Okay. And then also it's just a really nice presentation. The gentleman's name is Zach Davis. He's one of the co-founders of 7K. And this is something that this is a totally new presentation. So he does give some examples of what's happened in the past, but he also gives some really eye-opening examples of what could have happened if you had silver at one point and then had that same amount at another point, same with gold. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this, and then I'll take myself off the screen. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat.
Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? It's not just you. Millions of families around the world are feeling the exact same thing. In fact, as of 2023, nearly half of Americans said they couldn't cover a $400 emergency expense. And across the world, the figure is even worse. So what is happening? It's called fiat currency. Fiat currency is a government-backed way to pay for things, but only has the value the government says it does, and that we the people believe it has. Fiat currency has a history of becoming diluted over time. When it becomes diluted, it takes more of the fiat currency to buy the same goods and services, causing inflation. Basically, inflation means that you need more fiat currency to buy the goods and services you need to survive. As you can see, when the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, a dollar was worth, well, a dollar. Because of some government decisions, such as going off the gold standard and increased money printing, the purchasing power over time has effectively dropped to less than 3 cents on the dollar compared to 1913. Unfortunately, this isn't new. There is a long list of countries where this same thing has happened, including Germany, Argentina, Zimbabwe, and most recently Venezuela, where their money became so diluted that people were using gold to pay for haircuts. So how are you supposed to protect yourself from infinite money printing and decreased buying power? There is a secret that government institutions, banks, and wealthy families have used for ages. It's called sound money. Don't worry, it's just a better name for gold and silver. Gold and silver have a history of maintaining their buying power throughout history no matter what happens to fiat currencies around the world. Let's take a look at a couple examples. In 1965, 1 ounce of silver and $1 US had purchasing power. You could have used either 2,500 ounces of silver or $2,500 to purchase a brand new Ford Mustang. If you would have had the same 2,500 ounces of silver in 2021, you could have purchased 2 brand new Mustangs, while $2,500 would barely cover the down payment for one. We've seen the same thing happen in the housing market. The average home cost in 2001 was $169 US or 626 ounces of gold. In 2021, you could have taken less gold and purchased 3 homes, even though the average home cost in dollars almost doubled. These are just 2 examples of how gold and silver is one of the best ways to play defense against volatile fiat currencies that can decrease in buying power over time. There are usually a couple of things that happen when individuals find out about the power of sound money, though. First, questions. What should I buy? Who should I trust? How much does it take to get started? And do I need to be an expert? The second thing that happens is a discovery of things like mixed advice on what to buy, high minimums, people selling inventory they don't actually have, and much more, which all cause more questions, mistrust, or confusion, leading them to never get started. Maybe this sounds familiar. We believe things should be a whole lot easier. We believe that every family deserves a real chance to get ahead of the game, not only now, but forever. Really, our goal is to help you get started on a path to create a true legacy for generations to come. Who are we? We are 7K, a community of people on a mission to help each other create financial peace, preserve wealth, and create an exceptional life through both good and bad economic times. 7K was founded in 2016 by these 4 individuals with over 100 years of combined business experience. They all have different skill sets and strengths, but all share the same values and belief in helping the average family get ahead. Together, they set out to create a vehicle for people to find more hope and less stress. The vehicle of 7K has proven to help countless families since it started jump on the journey of stacking assets and finding more financial peace. So where should you start? One of the easiest ways is by grabbing a little bullion. Bullion is non-collectible gold and silver. Non-collectible gold and silver is a great way to shore up the defensive side of your wealth strategy. 7K makes it safe, easy, and affordable. We carry physical gold and silver in different forms that you can confidently have delivered to your home. We only sell the things we have in inventory. You won't find minimums or maximums, period. Here's some more perspective on our commitment to delivering best-in-class opportunity for you to execute your defensive strategy.
If you're watching this video, chances are you're curious about gold and silver. You might have a few questions, like why should I buy precious metals? What metals should I be buying? Who can I trust to buy them from? How do I know I'm getting a good deal? And how can I afford more? You should know that you're not alone. Most people have these questions. Over the next few minutes, we'll introduce you to an easy solution. Most people we talk to say they have a feeling that it's a good idea to own precious metals, but really don't understand why, or how to get started, or they don't feel like they have the budget for it, so they don't do anything about it. This lack of understanding costs them a lot of money. Quite honestly, we don't want you to make the same mistakes. We've watched far too many people struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues arise, or unexpected changes come up in life. Owning gold and silver can help shield you against all these challenges long term. When we started 7K, we established a mission to help the average person get ahead by adding precious metals to their portfolio, no matter their knowledge or circumstances. We've already changed the precious metals industry by making it extremely easy to get started without any maximums or any minimums, period. But that's not enough. We're now completely revolutionizing the industry and making it so anyone and everyone can seamlessly start buying precious metals. It doesn't matter if you want to start with $100 or even $1. The new technology provided by our partner company, Sound Money Wallet, will allow you to convert your cash to various asset classes of fractional gold or silver quickly, no games or gimmicks. Sound Money, you own the metals you buy, but they store them safe and sound. They offer limited capacity storage for up to $50,000 in asset value. And you'll sleep easy at night knowing that if you ever want your metals, they'll be in the mail at the drop of a hat. How? Sound Money uses a non-segregated vault at their partner company, VaultMax, to store your precious metal assets, protected by some of the most technologically advanced security out there. You can be sure your metals are safe there. If you want your metal, simply request it. Pay the shipping and insurance and it will be on the way. But what if you need cash? The old way of liquidating precious metals, including lugging a heavy box to a local dealer, hearing excuses for why they couldn't possibly match the current market value of your metals and probably ending up in a no-win situation, or contacting an online buyer, a typical $1,000 minimum, only to find that the price they initially quoted you for your metal dropped significantly once they received your heavily taxed package 4 to 6 weeks later. With Sound Money, you can kiss all that headache goodbye. This is the only tool on the market with the power to give you frictionless liquidation with one of the best buyback prices in the industry. So whether you're a savvy investor who already knows the power of gold and silver and the advantage of a private vault, or you're trading your first dollar for precious metals, Sound Money will make your ownership journey convenient and easy. Be confident that control is back in your hands from start to finish. Let Sound Money Wallet work for you.
Although we agree defense is important, it's not the only thing that wins championships. You also need a good offensive strategy. That offensive strategy can be found inside of collectibles. The collectible market has proven to be a robust way for wealthy families around the world to not only protect, but also grow their wealth, and more importantly, their legacy. The most valuable collectibles are usually rare or low mintage. They have unique or artistic designs, a great story, and usually have historic significance. So if you look at the paper this Amazing Spider-Man comic book from 1962 is printed on, it is only worth a couple of dollars. But in 2021, this comic book sold for a record of $3.6 million. The person or family that bought this book was not buying the paper. They were buying the emotion, art, rarity, story, and other things they found valuable about this book. Many families that are playing the collectible game are doing it not only for financial protection or gain, but also to preserve their family legacy. And a major difference between generational wealthy families and everyday individuals is the decision making around how they stack assets. A good example of this is highlighted by something we like to call the $1.2 million mistake. Take a look. You probably made a $1.2 million mistake, didn't even know it. Let me explain. Let's start by taking a look at this chart that shows the purchasing power of the US dollar 1913 to 2013. In 1913, the dollar was worth $1 in purchasing power. In 2013, a dollar was worth 5 cents in purchasing power. and even less now. We've seen the dollar and all currencies lose value over time. Some of this is due to inflation, but most is because of a change in 1971. In 1971, the US president ended the Bretton Woods Agreement, which cut all ties to currencies that were backed by gold. All at once, all world currencies became a fiat currency, meaning they are simply backed by whatever the government says they're worth. Take this scenario as an example. Let's say you wanted to purchase a brand new Mustang in 1965. It would have cost you $2,500 or 2,500 US silver coins. Same 2,500 US dollars won't get you a car today, but those 2,500 coins would get you 2 cars. As you can see here, while the US dollar has lost its value over time, gold and silver have maintained their purchasing power. If you consistently purchased gold and silver over the years, you would have negated inflation and maintained an average buying power. But what would have happened if you'd have bought collectible gold and silver? It begins with the MS-70 Silver Eagle. MS stands for Mint State. It's a grading system. An MS-70 coin means the coin is in perfect condition. If you'd purchased one MS-70 Silver Eagle every month since 1986, you'd be sitting on a $1.2 million portfolio, and it would have only cost you between $50,000 and $80,000. That's why we call it the $1.2 million mistake, because most people didn't buy them. What's crazy is that's what the coin the US Mint makes millions of every year. What would have happened if you focused on even more exclusive, unique, and rare modern coins? Here are a few examples, a track record for a few more unique and exclusive coins we've offered through the years. 2004 Tiffany art coin sold originally for around $100 with shipping and is selling in the market today for between $5,000 and $10,000. If you didn't get one, that's at least a $4,910 mistake. The Julius Caesar 7K exclusive from 2021 sold for around $360 with shipping and is selling for between $950 and $1,100 today. If you missed it, that's another $550 mistake. And here's the Montana Butterfly from the 7K Autosaver program that sold for $150 with shipping. Today, it would cost you around $1,200 to get one. That's another $1,000 or so mistake. Now sure, those are great performers, but that's a portfolio of around $10,000 with only a few coins and a fraction of the cost. With time, the power and potential of collectibles are real, and we're on a mission to help you avoid the potentially $1.2 million mistake, not adding them to your legacy. 7K not only offers some of the best coins from around the world, but also designs and mints its own coins, giving 7K members exclusive or first access. Because we've solved the problem of access and education around collectibles, the only thing left in the recipe is to automate your asset stacking.
If you're seeing more of your hard-earned dollars leave your account every month than ever before, you're in the majority. Yes, saving money today seems like an uphill battle. We're not here to get on you about it. You're trying. Inflation's got you down and it's not letting up. We get it. We do things differently. And what works for us just might work for you too. Every month, money leaves your account automatically. Car payments, rent or mortgage, phone bills, insurance. What's left after each one takes a chunk? These are all necessary expenses, but they're mostly liabilities. What's worse, they don't even leave you full ownership over the thing you're paying on, much less extra to save. What if you were able to automate your savings and stack assets at the same time? The Autosaver is a once-a-month asset delivery service that helps you keep your money in valuable, beautiful pieces of precious metal art collections. Each piece holds value from not just its metal content, but also its beauty, story, history, and uniqueness. Like this Montana State label issue of our 7K Silver Eagle States label series. As an autosaver, it sold for $105 in 2019. 5 years later, a Mint State 70 coin goes for upwards of $325, all because it's collectible with a unique label. But what about bullion? Doesn't it do the same thing for your cash? It's true, bullion has been a great hedge against inflation. In 2019, you could have bought about 4 non-collectible Silver Eagles with the same $105 you spent on the Montana State label collectible Eagle. And today, those 4 bullion Eagles would be worth around the same. The difference? Offense versus defense. The Autosaver works for you. And along the way, you're not just building savings. You're also stacking a gorgeous, valuable legacy. Put your future on autopilot. Start your 7K Autosaver today.
When you choose to jump on the Autosaver program, we will reward you with extra assets over time through our loyalty rewards program. Every time you get an autosaver, we will give you some loyalty points that you can accumulate and spend to get more assets. Also, we want to make it easier to stack faster. So when you are on autosaver, you will also have access to 7K Advantage. It is your own personal savings portal that can be used for rental cars, everyday purchases, and everything in between. So you can save on the everyday to be able to stack assets inside your current budget. There are other ways you can take your stacking to the next level through your own shopping cart called 7K Select, and also special sales called Coin Drops. 7K provides many ways to win with collectible gold and silver. So now that you have collectibles, how would you keep track of them? How would you finish the collections you have started and also have the ability to leverage them by selling a few if you get in a pinch? We have a member benefit for that too. Stack and Sell is a complete and robust marketplace that values authenticity. Now you can easily store graded collectible coins as well as buy and sell them from other collectors anonymously without worry. It also features a cutting-edge digital inventory system for collectors, where you can track your coins and the market values they carry. It puts you in complete control of your newfound collectible assets. And although you will have plenty of support as you start your journey with precious metals, being a proficient and educated buyer is an important component to hitting your new goals. The buyer's certification training will help you find what type of buyer you might be, what goals you might have based on what is important to you, and also what type of defensive strategy you might want to set up for yourself. The collector certification will help you move towards a winning offensive strategy, teaching you all you need to know about the ins and outs of collectible coins, what types you might be interested in collecting, and some expert tips from a world-renowned coin expert. We will arm you with the information you need to feel confident to get started. We talked about only a few of the benefits of joining the 7K family, but there are many more we haven't covered. But remember the initial problem that most people have of not being able to cover the $400 emergency expense? Well, we believe in putting money in the hands of the people who need it most. So instead of having a massive internet marketing budget or paying for billboards or TV ads, we pay you for sharing our message. Let's face it, you probably shared the last good movie you saw or the last good restaurant you ate at. But our guess is that they didn't pay you for it. 7K, on the other hand, wants to reward you for sharing, but only if you like it. And sharing doesn't need to be scary either. With the Instant Gold Pay new customer program, we will pay you in fractional gold for each new customer you refer to us.
What is Instant Gold Pay? It's the brand new 7K customer acquisition program that pays you directly in gold. Whenever you refer a new customer membership to 7K, we will instantly pay you either $20, $40, or $80 in fractional gold, sent to VaultMax and instantly shown on your Sound Money dashboard. We'll say that again. Instant gold. The minute your new customer referral finalizes their purchase, gold is sent directly to VaultMax on your behalf. So what's the catch? Well, you do have to have your Sound Money and VaultMax accounts properly set up first. But once that's done, there's nothing to stop you from getting out there, sharing 7K with someone new, and collecting an instant gold payment. We're ready. Are you?
Simply by sharing the 7K message, you can earn points across 2 teams, and 7K will say thank you by sending you $500 once each team reaches 500 points. To get you started, we will even pay a starter cycle of 250. Points accumulate every time a customer purchases a qualifying 7K customer membership, with recurring collectible coin sales and much, much more. Earning your $500 check can happen once, or each time each of your teams reaches 500 points, by successfully sharing the 7K story and referring new customers. Earning a little extra money for sharing is nice, but some people love sharing so much that they strive to unlock more potential with their efforts. New levels of referral income can be unlocked by building and leading your team and adding more customers. And as your team and income grows, we will also celebrate with you as you climb the ranks. 7K truly is on a mission to help the average individual develop their own long-term wealth strategy, ultimately helping to build and leave a true legacy. There is a mantra that the 7K community lives by, and some of it may resonate. We see things differently. They say stop, we say go. They strive for mediocrity, but we're obsessed with significance. They said we couldn't do it, so we did it anyway. We build leaders, teachers, and entrepreneurs that create legacy wealth, transform families, bring hope to the hopeless, and significance to the successful. We are the believers. After seeing this information, the question is, where do you stand? Are you one of the many who feel like they should own gold or silver but don't have any to speak of yet? How would you feel about having a little more control over your financial legacy? How would your life be different if you were empowered to do things you enjoy with the people you love? Our guess is that something you heard today makes sense. If that's true, don't wait any longer to start building your family legacy through gold and silver. To start stacking and sharing, all you will need to do is grab one of the starter options. Our full access legacy option comes with the important access you will need to build out your well-rounded wealth strategy, such as Sound Money Wallet with its free storage under $50,000 in value via Vault Max Vaults. Coin drops for those 7K exclusive coins only 7K stackers get, and of course, the thing everyone comes and stays for, the asset stacking on autopilot autosaver program. To start stacking and sharing, all you will need to do is grab one of the starter options. Don't worry, all the options come with exactly what you need to start your gold and silver journey. Even though our first option isn't full access, it can be a good beginning. For $149 US, it gives you a way to start your stacking on autopilot with the robust autosaver options. We will even help you start your stack with some silver. Sound Money Access and Stack and Sell Access will have limits on how you use them in this option, but it's good enough to get you moving. Now, if you don't want to worry about what you get and what costs extra, $269 US will get you 1 year of VIP access and includes a collectible. This comes with the VIP access to Sound Money, allowing free storage up to $50,000 US in metal value, and VIP access to Stack and Sell, allowing you to track in the inventory system as many coins as you want long into the future. Now, if you're the type that just wants it all without worry, $599 US will get you the VIP access that also includes a collectible coin to get your offense going. This option is the ultimate in access. It includes everything in the VIP, plus the ability to earn affiliate metal bonuses through Sound Money, allowing you to speed up your stacking while helping others understand the value in Sound Money. Oh, did we mention you'll never have to pay the $599 again? We are confident that you will find value in any of these incredible starter options. But before you go, we just have one last question. In our experience, most people fall into one of three categories. One is to grab a membership and start stacking. Two is to grab a membership and occasionally share the 7K story, create a nice little side gig to earn a little extra income. Or three is that you already know you want to share the 7K story with enough people to work towards a more meaningful income. So would you consider yourself a 1, a 2, or a 3? If you are a 1, go ahead and grab that membership and enjoy all the benefits. If you identified yourself as a 2 or a 3, take a look at our income disclosure to see what's possible. You can see each rank and what the high, low, median, and averages are for each one and what it might take you to create a solid side gig or to build a robust 7K business. Also, take note that over 80% of our members are customers who don't choose to build a 7K business. They just love the products. So wherever you may fit, just know we can't wait to meet you. Welcome to the 7K family.
Okay, so Zach did a really nice job of explaining everything in that video. So that's where, like I said, that video is brand new. It was just released in the past week or so here, and it's the second time I've shown it. And even though I've seen the some of the facts about the gold, and the silver, with the silver with the 1965 Ford Mustang, and then having 2,500 ounces of silver, a couple of years ago, you could have bought 2 Ford Mustangs. Okay. That was eye-opening, but then also the gold, from 2001 to 2021 in a 20-year span with less gold, you could buy 3 houses almost worth double the price. That was like really eye-opening. And it just shows you that over the course of time, gold and silver have maintained their purchasing power. Whereas he's explaining with the fiat currency, paper money, it's gone down, and especially now with inflation, everything being so high, it's like all the money that you earn or whatever is not buying as much as it used to, okay, because of the cost of living and everything. So this is one thing to kind of keep in mind, okay. And I just want to point this out here, and then I'll wrap everything up here real quick. But if in the event when you create your membership, I highly encourage everybody to always go through the training. This is actually it's something that will give you a really good insight as far as another step back into the different types of silver and gold and what, depending on what your short-term and long-term goals are, it'll recommend you what different types of gold or silver or bullion or collectibles you might want to look into it. It's like, this is all very organized. And actually, if you went through all the videos, I think it might be like a total of 3 hours or something, maybe. It's not that much, but it's very interesting, and it's definitely worth the time. But I always highly recommend that people go through that. They do create their membership. And I just want to show you real quick. So anytime that you, whenever I log into my 7K Metals back office, it actually has the actual gold price at that moment, same with the silver. And so that'll fluctuate throughout the day. So like when you go to the products page or something and you're looking at the prices of the silver and gold bullion, I always tell people to go ahead and click the in stock only. That way it shows up what's physically in stock, and they can ship out the next day. And that's usually, they'll only have stuff on here that they have. So the minute it gets sold out, it's updated here on their website. But it'll actually show you the current price. So as the price of silver and gold fluctuates throughout the day, so will these prices. Okay. But so what I want to do here is pull up my PowerPoint again. I'm not sure. There we go. All right. So real quick. Oops. There we go. Okay, with 7K, the founders, you heard from Zach Davis, he did that presentation. Then there's Roger Ball, Josh Anderson, and Richard Hansen. And if the name Roger Ball looks familiar to you, that's because he's the founder of the company called Melaleuca, which has been around here in the United States for over 20 years. So all four of these gentlemen, when they got together, they decided, their whole concept of 7K was, what could we do to make it affordable for the average everyday person to be able to save in the form of silver and gold, and then also in the same point, reward them for becoming a member and then sharing the opportunity. That's how they came up with the concept with the autosaver program, and then also how they pay it forward instead of having all this advertising all over the place and billboards and everything else. They're rewarding their members for sharing the opportunity. Okay, so that's something that it's very, it makes a difference. Okay, even if you share it with a couple people and you're able to earn a passive income from it, your membership and everything is a tax deduction. Now, I always recommend people to consult with their CPA or their accountant, but it's, in order for you to earn, you have to actually have a membership. So that is something that you can write off on your taxes as well once you receive a commission check in that. Okay. But 7K is located in Idaho Falls, Idaho. They do have a physical building, so it's something that if you were in Idaho Falls, Idaho, you could actually walk in their front door and talk to people and everything. It's not like one of these virtual things where you don't know where they're at. You don't know if it's another country, a third world country, or if there's actually even somebody there. In this case here, 7K is a physical company. They do have a physical building, so they do have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. So I highly, I encourage people to always do their due diligence. Okay, if you're not sure about 7K, do your own due diligence. But I'm also here to answer any questions that you have. And I do highly recommend them. And I do want to point out too that I have bought silver and gold from other places as well. But what I found over the course of the years here is that 7K either has the best price or they're in the top 2 or 3. So, they do have a competitive price because what they're doing is they're cutting out the middlemen, and they're actually, they're actually giving you the deal, like the dealer direct pricing that they get it for. Okay. So they do make every effort to pass along as much savings to people as possible. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. Plus, too, one thing that I found out too is I've had a couple times that when I made purchases that I placed the order, with my credit card or whatever, and then they'd say, okay, your order's going to ship in 3 weeks. Well, if I just paid for it, I should have it, like 7K, they'll always ship it out the next business day. So it's, unless you have it like bundled, like you can have your autosaver bundled. Here in the United States, it's every 30 days. In some other countries, it's like 60 days. I think like Australia, New Zealand, and UK, some of the other countries, you can have it bundled to where it's only shipped, once every 2 months or something like that. That way it helps to save a little bit on shipping because the shipping is added onto the cost. Okay. Just I want to point that out. But so it's something that, with 7K, they do have they only sell what they physically have, just like Zach said. So it's not like something where you see these places that have, oh, we've got the best price online, you know, and then you go to buy it and it's like, then they have three different tiers of pricing. If you pay with a cashier's check or something, it's one price. If you pay with cryptocurrency, it's one price. If you pay with a credit card, it's another price. But then also sometimes they don't even have it in stock. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind too. I'm just trying to give everybody as much information as possible because like I said, I'm really passionate about this. I think there are a lot of benefits to saving in the form of silver and gold if you are able to do it. If not, at least you have the information. So moving forward, if you, at some point down the road, if you're not able to do it now, you can do it. But then also just to have you consider 7K as a choice. Okay, you may already buy from some of these other places, and that is perfectly fine. I just want to share the information about 7K because in my experience over the last 3.5, going on 4 years, I've been extremely pleased with them. Their customer service is top notch, and the products they always stand by the products that they sell. Okay, and like what I do want to point out here is I'm going to get back to the screen here in a second, but I'll just go over the membership packages real quick, and then I do want to point out before I go any further, some of the giveaways that I'm going to have for the people that comment or reach out to me. I have a quarter ounce silver coin here. That's one of the items. I do have a 10th ounce buffalo Indian heads silver coin. I have a 1 ounce Philharmoniker. Okay. And then I have an American Silver Eagle. Okay. And then the other item I have is a 1 ounce buffalo Indian head silver coin. Okay. And then the surprise gift is the other drawing. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth thing that I have is a $50 credit towards a 7K membership. So if you get the membership, then I will PayPal the $50 to you. If you don't have PayPal or something like that, I could work out something to send you something in the mail or however. Okay. So that all depends too on the country that you're into, depending on where you're from when you comment or reach out to me. Okay. So all you have to do to that is comment on the video, like it, share it, do whatever you can. And you can also send me an email at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org, and I will put you in the, I'm not saying, I'm looking at the phonetics down here. I'll put you in the drawing for that. And so what I'm going to do this through, initially I was only going to do it through Friday night, but my initial recording from Wednesday, 75% of it was perfect. The other 25%, the audio was terrible, and I'm not sure what happened. So I will have this go through the end of the day, Sunday, and then on Monday, I will have the drawing. Okay. So just real quick, just the membership package, and I'll explain something too. With each membership package that you get, the person that is enrolled, and say, like Joe, you're on here. If you enrolled, you would also get $5 of instant gold in your account in your Sound Money wallet once you have it set up. So that's the bonus that they just started doing. So anybody who creates a new membership, they'll instantly get $5 into their Sound Money wallet too. So that way, it's their way of encouraging people to try it, to use it, at least they have it. Okay, at least they have it set up. So that gives you the option to purchase silver or gold in incremental amounts, whether you have $1 or $2. And like I said, I did a video a while back now of how I bought $8 worth of gold at midnight, and it'll allow you to do that. And I did in the video, like if you look it up on YouTube, I show you the walkthrough of how to do it. So it's very easy. And it's very straightforward. So this is some way that if you wanted to do it incrementally, or maybe you weren't able to do an auto saver or something, now to stay active and to keep your account active and earn points and be eligible for the weekly payout, or, like they were explaining, like Zach was explaining, you do have to keep your account active with purchases that have points, and the auto savers do have points automatically attached to it. There are other products in the back office that do have points associated with them. So those will help you keep your account active as well. Because what they're trying to get people to do is, or they're not trying to get people to do, but what they're giving the people the opportunity to do is have a defense and an offensive strategy to saving for their future. Like he was explaining, the defense is bullion and, silver and gold bars and coins. And then also the offense is collectible coins, because like some of the examples that he gave there, they were pretty eye-opening as far as the increase in value. So I do want to point that out. And then so just real quick, the basic access membership is $149, and you do get a collectible silver coin with that. And then you also get Sound Money wallet up to $1,000, and then you have Stack and Sell where you can track up to 10 coins. The VIP access is $269, and you get 1 year full access of it. Also includes a collectible coin. So they do send you a graded collectible coin with that. And that's also up to $50,000 in Sound Money, and then Stack and Sell is unlimited. And then the Legacy VIP, like you pointed out, that's a one-time. The first two basic VIP are annual memberships, so you would have to pay that each year. Okay, the Legacy VIP, you pay that once, and then you're totally done. You never have to pay a membership again. Okay, so that'll have you for the next 20, 30, 40 years, however long you want to be with 7K. But then also what's really unique about the Legacy VIP access, they have this Sound Money medal bonuses. What that means is that if you have the Legacy VIP access, you enroll somebody who has that also, if they make a purchase through their Sound Money wallet in silver or gold or whatever, you'll get a 1% bonus of whatever they purchased, and that'll go into your Sound Money wallet. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. Okay, so this is the point basis, because if you're wondering how you accumulate points to earn a passive income, basic access, there's 20 commission points that goes to the enroller. And then you get 50 loyalty points that would go, like, say if I enrolled you, Joe, I would get 20 commission points on my left or right, and then 50 loyalty points. But then you would get 100 loyalty points to start stacking to be able to save for free silver. Like in the back office, there's a loyalty or reward section, and that the coins that they have in there change, they fluctuate. Okay, they're not always the same ones that are in there today. They'll be something different down the road. But as you accumulate points, you can convert that into free silver or whatever coins they have, whether it's silver or gold coins. I think right now it's all just silver, different silver coins like bullions and then collectibles. But that would be free, though, so you get free and you wouldn't have to pay for those. And that's why they call them loyalty points. And anytime that you have an autosaver shipment, you get loyalty points for that. So like you say, your autosaver had 15 points. So the 15 points would go to your left or right, but then you'd also get 15 points into your loyalty account. So so it's almost like you're double paying yourself. I mean, you're saving in silver or gold, because they do have a gold autosaver. You're saving for your future, but at the same time, you're getting points to earn towards free silver or gold. Okay, so it's something that's pretty cool. And so with that's the main difference. So they all come with the 50 loyalty points to the sponsor, and then 100 loyalty points to the person that's enrolling. And then the breakdown is 20 for the basic, 50 commission points, and then 150 commission points. And so there's a lot of different additional benefits with 7K. They do have the health insurance. There's a 1099 tax advantages, because if you share the opportunity and you start earning, you have like I mentioned, something that you want to consult your CPA or accountant on, but there are tax advantages to it. They do offer a gold-backed IRA, and you have, of course, the residual income. And then also you have your own, when you create your account, you have your own 7K website. It's a replica of theirs, and everything, when you share it, everything is attached to you. So if somebody makes a purchase through your link on your website of 7K, or else they create a membership, they get credited towards you. So you would get either the commission or you would get the enrollee. So it's kind of cool how they have it set up. But even with the health insurance, I do want to point out, if you're a pet owner, and they do offer pet insurance as well too. So that's something kind of unique that they started doing. I think it's about a year ago now. Might be a little bit longer, but that's roughly from what I can remember. So let me see if I have it. I'll just show you the autosavers. Like right now, it's not the Eagle State label. This is the Inventors Collection, like I was showing in the video, but it is an American Silver Eagle. But it just has the Inventions label series. The State Animal is 139. The State Animal Gold, so that's a half-gram gold coin with they have all 50 states, so it would be whatever the state animal is for that state. That's 179, and then the 7 Pillars Gold notes, that's 115. Okay, So I wanted to share that, and then let's get back to the screen here. Okay, and if you do decide to become a member today, or down the road, and you do go through one of the links that I'm sharing here with the presentation, you want to be part of our team here at Silver and Gold Solutions. What I will do is I will send you a Silver and Gold Solutions coffee mug, which is shown there in the picture, and then also I will send you a 1 ounce Indian head buffalo silver coin, and then also a copper coin. Now the copper coins, a lot of people, I say this every time, but the people don't think of copper because it's not as sexy as silver and gold, but it is another precious metal that does have its value, and it's not as high per ounce as silver and gold, but it has gone up over the last couple of years, and it does have it's got its everyday use just like silver does. So like with copper, that's kind of unique. It's a nice collectible coin. It's 1 ounce pure copper, or 0.999 pure copper. So that's a gift from me to you. So in addition to whatever silver you would get from 7K, and of course in the membership package that you get from 7K, this would be from me personally, the mug, and the 2 coins. Okay. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Okay, so that's my reward to you for becoming a member of 7K and joining our team. And of course, you can always reach out to me with any questions, even if you're part of somebody else's team. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer from the information that I have. But I do want to point out too that 7K does have a tremendous support team. I highly recommend, if you have any questions, they're very knowledgeable. You can actually even call on the phone, or you can chat. If you don't want to call, you can chat through the website. And then I wanted to, I don't have the chart here, and I apologize about that. So Zach talked about the instant gold pay. All right. So if you're doing this where you have, like Joe, if you become a basic access member, okay, and then I would get $20 worth of gold into my Sound Money wallet once you completed your membership application. If you became a VIP access member, I would get $40 worth of gold, and if it was the legacy VIP, it would be 80. So that's what that is. So that anytime you share it with somebody, you would get that as well. Okay. So I do want to kind of point that it's pretty cool. It's really nice that they're doing that, because gold is what it is right now at the 23, it's 23.34 an ounce. But that money, as it put in your Sound Money wallet, it will fluctuate with the price of gold. But that's an added bonus just for sharing this great opportunity with people. They just started the instant gold pay recently, and there's been a lot of people that have been benefiting from it. So it is something that'll help you start saving more and building more for your future. So I'm really excited to share this with everybody. I'm probably leaving something out, but I know I covered a lot of information. I do want to really thank everybody for, spending your morning here with me and following the presentation. So if you're interested in getting started, I'll have the link below the video, or you can reach out to me at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org. Now, what I do from my end here is anybody that becomes a member of 7K through our team, I do have a rotator thing where I do advertise different links on the internet and everything. And so I do have a rotator link. So once you would become a member, I would put your referral ID, which is your 7K Metals website, which would be www.7kmetals.com/whatever your username is. And then I would put that in the rotator. So as I'm advertising or trying to share I shouldn't say advertising, but I guess it is indirect, it's marketing. As I'm sharing the links, if somebody in the rotator, as it's going through each person's name or link, if somebody purchases a product from your link when it pops up, or they become a member, then it would get credited to you. So that's just kind of an added bonus thing that I do here. So if you want, go ahead and send me an email at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org, or you can use this link here, or the one I put below the video here on YouTube and Rumble. And then that way you can have the opportunity to just click on that and just get started if you want. But like I said, if you're not able to do 7K, it's not part of your country, or you're not able to do it right now, or if you share the information with other people, and if there's something, if you know somebody and you share the link with our link with them, let me know, and I'll do something to help you, compensate you in some way, shape, or form, just to kind of pay it back, pay it forward, But my goal here is just to make sure that everybody has as much information as possible. And like I said, all the videos that I shared today, I will put those below in the comment section. And then also the freebies for the ebook and then the travel thing, all that'll be below the video. If you have any questions, reach out to me at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org. And I want to thank you very much again for taking the time to watch this video. And go ahead and comment or reach out to me, and I will, Sunday night at midnight, I will cut off the entries. And then on Monday, I will have a drawing for the items that I listed, and we'll go from there. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I wish you the best. And yeah, I'm proud of my 2 boys and my granddaughter. So thank you everybody for taking your time. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Father's Day, everyone, and we'll talk to you again soon. Okay, everybody have a great weekend. Take care.